Greetings, I'm Bill Wikstrom. Welcome to Talk About Pop Music. This is the Vinyl View segment. This week I will be discussing Alex Chilton, Dusted in Memphis and Elsewhere. Now this is a bootleg recording, as you can see from the taped on cover. It was released somewhere in the early 80s. Records indicate 1981, but there's no concrete information about this. This is easily one of the most important and conclusive records that a big star or Alex Chilton fan could possess. Now I found this particular copy at Venus de Milo Records on St. Mark's Place in Manhattan in the summer of 1993. For some reason I remember that. This album has a lot of material that was recorded immediately after the demise of Big Star in 1975. In fact, some of the material is recorded in 75. Take Me Home, Make Me Like It, The Walking Dead, both tracks recorded at Ardent in 1975. A lot of these songs were recorded in Connecticut in 1977. It says a lot of these things were recorded in 78, but they weren't. They were recorded pretty much the year that Alex Chilton moved to New York, which was, I believe he moved to New York in February of 77 and left in December, so he was there pretty much the entire year. And he recorded most of these songs in Connecticut or New York. One song, Tennis Bum, he recorded at at Ardent in Memphis with Peter Holsapple. In fact, it was during a Peter Holsapple session. And interestingly enough, Alex Chilton has no recollection of recording it. Apparently he was very stoned and did not remember recording it. But most of this material, like Lovely Day, a version of which appeared on the Big Star box set, Keep an Eye on the Sky, a few years ago. Most of these songs, like Windows Motel, She Might Look My Way, which he co-wrote with Tommy Hohen, My Rival, Little Fishy, Shaking the World, Can't Seem to Make You Mine, well, the cover of the Seeds song, were all songs that were in Alex Chilton and the Cossacks set when he played CBGB's, Max's Kansas City, the Ocean Club, the Hot Club, and they were all recorded for, I think they were funded by Karen Berg of Elektra Records, and they were demos for Elektra. However, Elektra deemed them as too uncommercial, but they're wildly interesting. All these songs were recorded with Chris Stamey of the DBs on bass, and Lloyd Farnoff and Fran Kowalski. Lloyd on drums, Fran on keyboards. This is a great and interesting stage of Alex's career. Unfortunately, after there was no commercial interest from any record labels, he left New York and went back to Memphis in early 78, late 77. And he pretty much just kind of not wasted away, but he recorded the Life Flies on Sherbet album, which is a pretty amazing recording. Pretty deconstructionist and not very commercial at all. Now these songs, this was probably the last time, well, at least in the 1970s, that he was really trying to be relatively commercial on his terms, and unfortunately it didn't really pan out. It would have been pretty amazing if Elektra actually funded the record. It probably would have been pretty unique. It would have been fairly new wave, although new wave on Alex Chilton's terms, so not very new wave at all, but it wouldn't have too much in common with anything else that was going on at the time. A lot of this material has come out on other bootlegs. Unfortunately, I don't think Alex Chilton ever had the master copies of these recordings, and I don't know who owns them. And I don't know if anyone does. I know that supposedly the only copy Alex had, he gave to his mother, or sent a copy to his mother, and the fire, which took his mother's life, that lone copy also went in the fire as well. So it's not very well known if these are out there and who has them. And it's my opinion that they should be released, because this is really, really excellent material. Some of these songs are wonderful, like Little Fishy is just really funny and nice. She Might Look My Way, maybe one of the best solo songs Alex ever composed. It's co-written with Tommy Hohen. There's a song on here, Baron of Love Part 1, which is basically Ross Johnson just reciting ad-lib poetry over his drum beat, which actually appeared on Like Flies on Sherbets. I'm not sure what it's doing on here. There is actually a Baron of Love Part 2, which is Tav Falco just vamping on that phrase over and over. If you see this, by all means pick it up if you're a big Star fan or Alex Chilton fan. Now these bootlegs, they're not so common anymore. In the 80s and 90s, these were fairly common. You'd see them everywhere in used record stores, but not so much anymore. The need for them has kind of sort of faded away with the advent of the internet, and you can download these tracks for free, and if you can do that, I guess by all means, just to hear them. The album itself is not very well pressed. This is Big Al. That's true. I guess they don't want to have Alex Chilton on here, just so there's no copyright or legal matters. This is Dustin in Memphis, which of course is an allusion to the Dusty Springfield album, which was recorded in Memphis, Tennessee, which yielded the solo set of A Preacher Man. And okay, actually it's 1980. It says 1980 Bangkok Productions. Bangkok, of course, alludes to his hit single. And that's it. He's back on the shelf with the other records. If we talk about pop music, I'm Bill Wikstrom, and this was the Vinyl View segment.